All right, y'all, I can't do the walk up. I was plugging my light in back here from the other shed. I've been out there for quite a while. I did quite a bit of work out there. Most of it was actually dedicated to live selling this time because I had such a massive video game buy. And I don't list consoles on eBay anymore. And so I've been setting up these shows, working out there, and then normally I pick up my camera and come in here. But today, I couldn't do that because it's pouring down rain outside. So we're just going to start in here. I've got some awesome sales. I've got a perplexing problem that I've heard some people have had in the past, and I'm going to present it to you and ask you what you would do in this situation. And we've got some cool sales as well. I got a lot of news I want to talk about today as well. I want to calculate an item out that I bought that I paid way up that people probably think I'm crazy for, but this is why I did it. Lots of great stuff I want to talk about today. Thanks for joining us. Let's go take a look. All right, now I got to walk across the rain. It slowed down a little bit, which is good. I put my extra boxes out here and then the rain gets on them sometimes, so I got to make sure that's not in there. I got a couple of friends because Blue Ridge Mama's not here. Y'all gotta stop buying Vera Bradley bags. Just cut it out. Just no more. They never sell. So these actually both sold on 30% off. And so the Vera that I had bought a ton of last year, or not quite last year, a while back, finally hit that 200-day mark. So everything that didn't sell is on 30% off, and now it's selling. So I paid $1 for this one. I bought them at this, not the same sale. I bought them the same day at a highway sale. So bought this one for $1. Bought this one for $15, and it is a Hello Kitty Vera Bradley bag. And they sold on 30% off. This one sold for $55 plus shipping. And on 30% off, this one sold for $17 and change plus shipping. So I am $16 into it for, I don't know, what does that total up to? 74 bucks, something like that? I'm not quite sure. 73 something. So I will take that for sure. Vera doesn't always sell, but you know, when it's crisp like that, not faded, no problems. I see one thread right there. Straps are in good shape. Hello Kitty just sells them almost no matter what it is. So definitely cool. I love those sales. Y'all, we do have a bunch to talk about, but sales have been rolling in today. So I'm super excited. And I got a little secret to tell you. I didn't list an item on eBay today. That is rare for me to get up in the morning and to not start my day off listing, but I had another doctor appointment. So had to go take care of that, and it's 4 in the afternoon here, and I have not listed an eBay item yet. I don't know if my wife has, so maybe I need to put the camera down and get one listed. It makes me feel anxious, but it makes me feel happy that these sales are coming in. Sold something's been here for a long time, I think. I feel like that's been sitting there for a long time. It's a Viewmaster. Whenever you see that right there, sometimes they're good, y'all. Sometimes they're not. So you got to be really careful on these. But that Viewmaster sold for 20 bucks, $19.95 plus shipping. The puppies are being strangely behaved today. It's because there's no cats around. So I'm going to give them a treat early in the video, and we'll talk about this topic a little bit. Chomp, chomp, chomp. All right, I'm sure the first part of this has happened to a lot of folks. It's happened to me before too. Is you'll get a return request after the return request has passed. And of course, it should be, a month from 30 days from when the item is delivered or something like that. But if it doesn't get delivered, sometimes there's a different date that it starts from or something. But I've had this happen many times where somebody says, hey, I know it's past the return date, but I never opened it, or I was giving it as a gift and whatever. I'd like to return it. Usually I will do that. In this case, I don't even know what to do, because there's two certain circumstances that make me, first, let's face it, if you got a 30-day window and it's past 30-day window, I think the seller's got every right in the world to just say, hey, I'm sorry, you missed the return window. It's part of the deal, right? But in some cases, I feel a little bit bad, and I want to treat people right. If they bought it for a gift for somebody a month away and they're, not procrastinators like the rest of us, and then they give it and it doesn't fit, it's like, I don't know what to do sometimes. But here's the weird part about this one. This item, they sent me a screenshot of the item, and it shows at the top that it's not delivered. I'm like, And this goes back to March 5th, that it was in transit or something like that, and it never shows delivered. And I'm like, that's weird. You know, why? First of all, why would you buy something wait that long without it being delivered without contacting? Because I don't go on to every item to make sure, check the tracking and make sure they're delivered. It just seems like a waste of time. But then I go to try to find that item in my sold listings. It's not even there. I'm thinking, is this person trying to scam me? What's the deal? How do they get this picture? It says Commonwealth Pickers, who they bought it from, and it's an item I had, and I don't have it anymore. And I'm totally perplexed as to why I can't find this listing in my sold listings. And it's only been, 40 days or whatever it's been. So I don't know what to do. And I responded to them. I asked them for the item number because looking up by name, I can't find it. I just don't get it. Has anybody ever had something like that where an item disappears out of your sold listings? Totally gone. And I can't quite grasp it. And I don't know what to do because I don't know if I should refund this person or not. Oh, Juan's out here waiting for me. You like it out here in the rain, getting all wet, so you can make Mama mad in there? Tipman, I have 2 of these. I bought one of these at a sale for $10. I don't know if it was this one or not, but I have 2 of them. One I got from Death Pile Picker, I think. And this one I thought would sell quickly. I'm like, $10? It's still in the box. It was a church sale. I'm like, sweet. But it didn't sell that quickly because I didn't list it. This one sold for $119 after I listed it, $119.95 plus shipping. Y'all, it's sourcing season again, so I've started to buy, of course, at garage sales, and I made that big buy from Death Pile not that long ago. I haven't even processed that stuff yet, some of it. And I just made 2 private picks. I think I talked about this in the last video. And so I've been out there. I might even take you out there through the rain or something and show you some of this stuff that we got. And I'm going to try to start doing deal of the day. There should be a deal of the day over there on Dibdit as well, again, and start putting deal of the day auctions over there on those different marketplaces. I think I have one over there now for a Fleet Inman Golf Club head cover on dibditsports.com. And I am to the point, this is where I want to be. This is what I've talked about for a while, where I'm not just taking what I buy and pulling the eBay stuff out of it that's of a certain dollar value and posting it on eBay and then putting everything else on these live selling things. I want to get to the point where I'm bringing good merchandise to both of these places. Because let's face it, this is, a lot of people tried to do live selling with the cast. They just can't bring themselves to sell a $30 item for $12, $13 on a live sale. And I'm kind of the same way, truth be told. But I have learned that if I increase if I increase my volume of purchase and the opportunities that come to me, I can do both of these things and grow both of them the way I want to grow. I did a huge buyout of video games. And it was totally an opportunity that I knew I was getting into with somebody else. And then I got 2 more opportunities literally within minutes after it because of it. And I don't do consoles over here anymore. So I sell all the consoles over there live selling. It's just because it's a time suck. So I don't have to test everything and do whatever. I sell it at a discount, buy them cheap. But I'm going to start doing it with video games. I did pull a few out for eBay. I think 3 that I'm going to sell over here on eBay. But if I've been buying so much, I don't want to go through these individual games that are $8, $9, $12 a piece. I'm going to sell them all over there, and I'm going to sell them all in an hour. I was going to say, you're just going to let your brother sit in there in the nice comfy chair? And your younger brother at that. How come he gets the big nice chair? You got to be on the floor. So this is a cool item. We're going to do something I haven't done in a while, which is run the numbers on a piece of paper. I don't often do that, but we're going to do it on this one. This one's got a cool story. This is a Curtis Mathis VCR. Not the greatest name in the world, by the way, but it's brand new, sealed, never been out of the box, has everything. It's just perfect. And if you ever see VCRs, even if you don't sell VCRs that are brand new in a box, pick them up. And this is from an inside sale. This is, if you remember me telling the story, the lady who got me the Golf Club Inman head covers and towels and all that stuff. She was so kind and just gave it to me. And I said, we'll run a charity auction. That one's over on Dibdit Sports right now, dibditsports.com. And it was so kind that I started to really bear down on her table a little bit because I wanted to find something to buy. Because her prices were, I mean, she's a reseller, so the prices were up there a little bit. And they weren't crazy. But I saw this, and it had a $50 price on it. And you know me, I'm like, I don't want to pay $50. But I figured, hey, it's a sealed VCR. It's at least $100. I'm not going to lose money. Got it home, The only sold comp for a new one like this was $124.95 plus shipping. And so I got pictures of it. It's easy because we didn't take it out of the box. Got pictures of it and listed it. Actually got pictures of it, put it in drafts. My wife listed it. I was thinking in my head, I have the only one out there. I'm going to put it out there for 140 or something. Well, she listed it for 120 plus shipping. Sold super quick. So it probably would have sold for at least $129.95, but whatever. We'll take it. That's still good. So 50 into 120 plus shipping on this. Let's run the numbers. All right, I've ran some preliminary numbers here really quick. So the cost for $149.95 is what came in. Technically, more than that came in. Taxes came in, and then taxes went immediately out as well. Sales tax. But so 150 minus 50 minus 14.57 in fees. I didn't promote it. I don't promote much of anything. Shipping costs. I'm going to actually ship this really quick off camera and then give you the exact number, having it shipped out. I normally would use a small box. I use the Walmart boxes sometimes just so I don't have to store and store and store for some of the bigger ones. So that's going to go in my other cost as well, my shipping costs, because those boxes cost like $1 or something. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, I would normally let's say this thing was not brand new sealed in the box. Let's just say it had the box with it. I would consider putting one of those construction bags around it, like a big giant poly bag, and shipping it out that way. But since this is new sealed, there might be somebody out there who wants to keep it new sealed, which is a little odd, but whatever. I doubt it, but I'm going to package this in a box. It's sold for $150, for goodness sake. I'm going to spend a little time on it. That's what I would normally ship a VCR without the box in. And then I would package it and it would fit in there perfectly. But I think that's going to be just a shade too short for this box. Let me just double check it real quick before I go get the other one. Yeah, you see that? You see here's the mark, so it's just going to be a little too big. I'll have to get a medium box, which is a little bit more expensive, and a little bit bigger. So we'll go get that. All right, this was up there. So I had to grab that box. I don't use these very often, except for on Shop Commons when I'm sending out giant lots of stuff. So this is going to be more than enough space. And then we'll cut down the height of it. There you go. See how we're far better off right there. And then the size, yeah, it should be perfect right here. And we'll cut down the size of it. And we'll ship it off to Texas. So I might even, I charged $19.95 plus shipping for this one. So I don't know how much this is going to cost, but let's figure it out. I guess I'll show you this really quick. It fits in there pretty snug. We've got paper all around it. I usually cut these flaps off right here and use them as extra in here, almost like creating a double box, even though this is already pretty sturdy. So I'll cut those two off like that, and I'll lay them down flat in there and push it down, and then I'll cut up the sides. I'll show you. All right, so I cut off those two flaps, push them down in there, and then take this and score it right up the side on all four sides. I'll usually cut these off and slide them down, so I've basically created a double box out of one box. And I'll slide that down in there really tight and snug. And then after they're cut, we'll fold these parts all over, and I'll show you the final product. So that's exactly what I did with the sides. I put them in there, so it's now double boxed in here. And I scored the edge at the top of that flap that I cut off and then pushed them down. I don't use anything except for the actual knife to score it. And then we've scored that right there as well. So we'll turn these two flaps down. So it's still a much smaller box, well protected. The flaps flap over each other. So if you're, OCD and you need a clean little seam there, which you don't need to have. But if you do, you can, well, let me show you. You just take that knife and you just slice right down the middle right there and cut through two layers. And you get that side that comes off and then this side that comes off on the inside, and then you have a nice seam that you can take right there. Now packaging that only took just about, let's see, you gotta go get it. If I wasn't filming, it's probably a 4-minute, 5-minute process. It really does not take very long. We'll say 5 minutes, but it put these two dogs to sleep. So it's well worth it. Doing it in the middle of a video. Some people always, they're like, do you really need to do that? Wouldn't it be better just to keep the extra padding? And yeah, the answer is yes most of the time, but it makes a pretty clean presentation. Plus, this one would have gone 1 more pound, actually, believe it or not. Just cutting those two pieces off. This is 2 ounces right there. We would have been over the 11-pound mark. It might have cost us a little more. Sometimes it doesn't when you're working with this size. But here's the numbers. So I ended up paying, I charged $19.95 for this one. That's kind of way my shipping goes. Something big like this to Texas, I'm usually right on the money. In this case, I'm a little under the money, which is good. I'm making a little bit. I'm almost covering my costs because they charge you fees on the shipping as well, $19.95. So I'm basically break even on the shipping because they charge that fee on the shipping portion too. So I'm pretty happy with that. USPS ground on this one is $17.13. I could have gone FedEx with it, $15.53, which would have been a little cheaper. But that requires me to drive a little bit farther over. This item here is not going far away. So I don't think I'm going to have to FedEx that one. I think that's going to go ground as well. If that was going somewhere else, when I knew I had to go to FedEx for that one, I'd probably save the extra $1.50 on this too. But I don't want to drive across town or make my dad do it. Plus, FedEx can upcharge the heck out of you sometimes, and that rarely happens with the post office. So if it's close, I'm going to go USPS ground. UPS would have been $19.20 on that one. I put other. I usually, when I'm doing my other fees, and that's basically to keep the lights on and all the expense of actually doing business and paying for your store and all those things, I usually just throw in an extra 2%. In this case, the packaging material was just the box and a little bit of paper. So that covers pretty much that, and that'll give you a pretty good idea what the profit is. Let's calculate it out. All right, we ran the numbers here, and that is the total profit right here, $65.25. It's probably no more than a 15-minute process, excluding the sourcing, which I view as recreation, so I don't count it. But I mean, if you want to put that in there too, I get it. We bought so much that day, it would be just an extra couple of minutes. But what did I just do? Did I do something to that? 62. I did something. Anyway, you saw it. So we'll slap that sticker on there, and that is my kind of flip. Some people I've heard say, hey, I'm not going to do a sale unless I'm into it for 1/10 of what I'm going to sell it for. That should change as I'm in for a third right there. And I wouldn't do a third on a coffee mug. If I can sell a coffee mug for $10, I'm not doing $3.33 on it. I'm doing no more than $1, and I probably won't even do that. But for a bigger item like this, it definitely makes it worth the while, for sure. And so I'm glad I made that purchase. It was definitely a winner. And these two are still asleep. And I just had 2 more sales come in. Put us over the $1,300 mark for items going out. That is gross. That includes shipping. But still, good day. Or I should say a good couple of days. And I got a couple of nice pieces of cardboard to recycle and use later. Sold a wrestling lot. This is a viewer sale. Sold Demolition. 3 of them right here. I had 2, and I picked up 1 more to make the final set right here. I picked one up. I paid up for one of them knowing that it would make the whole set much more desirable. Axe, Smash, and Crush. Those are the Mattel products. And then, do I have the Bushwhackers? There they are. Sold these 2. I don't think I'm going to give you the individual prices on these 3 just because I don't want to. But the Bushwhackers sold as well. Bought these off of Dibbed It, I believe. The Bushwhackers. I might have bought 2 of the Demolition off of there. And then, where did I put these? I have not sold one of these yet, and I gotta find it. Are they down here? Some Hulk Hogan keychains. Where did I put them? Sometimes I outsmart myself. I've never sold one yet, so did I put them over here? Oh, you know what? I know where I put them. See, there you go. I've never sold it yet, so sometimes I got to get used to my system. Hulk Hogan keychain, and then there's one that's a different Hulk Hogan keychain. There it is right there at the bottom. Actually, in the wintertime, source these off of Shop Commons. I think Purple Unicorn PA Picker is where I got them. And those all sold total for $70.85 plus shipping. The shipping, each one had shipping on it, so I'm going to refund a little bit of the shipping. And I'm going to thank the person who bought it, Matthew. By the way, if I ever forget to refund, a viewer sale shipping or something, a lot of times I don't refund the shipping. If, I will for a viewer, of course, especially if they ask for it. Or if somebody asks in advance. But if it's not that big a difference, I'm not doing it. It just takes a little bit of time. I know there's a lot of people out there who do, but I don't always do it. Love seeing the wrestling items you find and list. My son is a huge WWE, WCW fan, and I've been getting this stuff for him. I got the Macho Man blanket, if you remember that. Thank you for that. by the way, is amazing, and he loves it. Your YouTube channel is one of my favorites that I watch almost every morning. Thank you for all you do. P.S. I am Matt, M-A-T, Cave Gaming on YouTube. All right, we'll go check that out. And Matthew, I do appreciate it, and I hope your son enjoys these, or you enjoy them. You know, I don't use a SKU system, and so I'm terribly embarrassed if I ever can't find something. Well, I almost couldn't find this. I actually couldn't find it, but it's a jacket, and jackets go in my jacket closet. That's the only place I would ever put it, and I looked through that thing 5 times, could not find it. So what happened is, you'll notice there's no hanger here. I normally hang it up here. Let me find a hanger. So what happened was, this thing was on a hanger, and it's super heavy. And so when it was hanging on the hanger broke. There, I put it back on a hanger. So imagine it hanging in a closet, like going back like this. And the hanger broke. And what happened was, this whole thing slid back up against the wall with all the other jackets hiding it. And it was way down here as opposed to up here because the hanger broke. It was hanging on for dear life. It wasn't on the floor. So I went and I looked through the bottom of the closet just out of desperation, and I saw that checkerboard pattern just clinging to dear life. So I'm super glad that I found that one. It's a Burke's Bay leather checkerboard racing jacket, checkered flag racing jacket. It's just kind of generic. Still sold for $49.95 plus shipping. A few years back, I picked up an absolute ton of doorknobs and door locks and all that stuff, and it was super cheap. But man, it turned into a big headache. There was way too many returns. Like, it was creeping up to 10% of these things. I'm like, ugh. And I've been soured ever since. But every once in a while, you find something cheap enough, and it's brand new in the box, and it's like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. That's what this is. $19.95 for this Schlage single-cylinder deadbolt plus shipping. I love selling vintage t-shirts, but this one was not a huge winner, I gotta say. And it took forever to sell. It is not single stitch. It is an XL made in USA Dale Earnhardt. But nothing amazing. Sold for $12.37 because it went out on discount plus shipping. Honestly, this may be my favorite thing to sell. Sealed cassette tapes. I bought these over on Dibdit. And I bought quite a few of them. I'm going to do pretty well on them. These two are Bad Company, both sealed. Some brand new Bad Company cassettes. I put them together because I figured it would help it go a little quicker. And they sold for $24 plus shipping. Next one I'm going to have to get a ladder for because it's back up there. This one did not take too long to sell. And it was a little bit of a private pick. That was kind of fortunate that I had the opportunity. It was a friend of mine called me up. And we're already in the profit. Pretty good bit in the profit. And we still have a couple good items left. And then we have this one that's sold. So I'm going to end up doing all right on this deal. And I might have to get this a little closer. Or put the camera down. You know what? I'm going to put the camera down. It's kind of thin, really fragile ceramic. Is not fun to ship. But for the price I paid, it's definitely worth it. This is going to be $34.95 or $35.95. I can't remember, plus shipping. Really good shape. Shape matters on this, and even the sticker matters. I thought about maybe even getting a new sticker for it, but didn't seem like it was going to be worth the time. Little cookie jar from the Pillsbury Doughboy. I'll take that sale right there. $35 plus shipping. Sold some little boys Oshkosh pants, and they didn't sell for much, but it was a fill-a-bag for $5, and I could get like, I got like 5 or 6 pairs of these in there and a bunch of other stuff and a t-shirt. I was trying to find stuff to stuff in there, so it sold for $15 plus shipping. This next one might be one of my absolute oldest listings in the store. And I would not list this anymore on here. I'd put it together in a lot or something, but it's the Disney Descendants. And it sold on deep discount. And I paid, I don't know what I paid. I bought a whole bag of these and Monsters High stuff and just pulled this one out. And it finally sold. $7 plus shipping. And I see there's a note on there. It just says thank you. So I don't know if that's a viewer or not, but Lori, if you are a viewer, thank you. Next one was almost a regret right from the moment I bought it. I paid $5 for it. And I picked it up and was talking to a lady, super sweet, super nice. And it had a $5 tag on it. And I was like, And I just couldn't bring myself to say $3, which is really the most I wanted to pay for it. And I bought it anyways. It's Fiesta Wear, a little picture. And this time of year is when this stuff starts to sell a little bit better. And it's sold on 30% off, and it's still sold for over 15 plus shipping. So I'm making money, but not exactly what you want to do. 5 into 15 for that for sure is not where you want to be. Next one is a little Arctic tumbler, 10 ounces, I think. And there it is right there. You'll see a bunch of them back there. I think we had 4 or 5 of these and then some other ones. So $1 a piece selling for $12.95 might not seem like it's great, but when you can pick up, 6, 8, 10 things at that price, and then you have a multi-quantity listing, then it kind of becomes worth it. So $1 into $12.95 times 4 or 5 of that particular kind, so one listing plus shipping, that made it worth it. And I sold an Enaman to Karen. Guess Karen wants to get her eBay store moving. This was on eBay. I have now started selling the Enaman over on Dibdit.com. They're going for a little less over there on auction. And that would be expected, of course. But if you are interested in bidding on one of these, you can probably get a good deal over on Dibdit.com. And maybe even use code Commonwealth. You can get 5% off of, or excuse me, $5 off of that over there if you use it. So I will probably still sell a few of these. Now, there we go. We half emptied the back of that thing out and put them over there, and that is all we have left. And I always intended to keep that for decoration, but looks like we dipped into it. I think Reagan did it. So I'm going to keep going, I suppose. I want some left when I retire, just for fun. So that one right there went to Karen. Thank you, and we do hope it gets your store moving for you. And I see there is a message with it. Kevin, I am so excited about getting the winning bid for the Enaman Fleet Plush. I'm a big fan of your Commonwealth Picker channel. Hope you like this one too. Hopefully you know there's this one. A lot of people watch Commonwealth Picker don't even know there's a Commonwealth Flipper channel, and vice versa. So we appreciate it. You have taught me so much about reselling. I'm a former GI nurse. Wow. Turned eBay seller, so this plush will be a great addition for my desk. God bless Karen. Karen, thank you so much. I hope it gets things moving for you. All right, you've seen me talk about these twice now. Once when I told you I sold them, and once when I told you that I softballs come in 11-inch and 12-inch, and these were 11-inch, and the listing said 12-inch. So I told the guy, I was like, hey, we'll just refund you the money if you don't want them. He's like, yeah, let's do that. So we relisted them, and they sold $70 plus shipping. I have what might be the third viewer sale here. Julie. Thank you, Julie. I only say that because there's 2 different purchases, and they're totally different. I was looking in the wrong place. Gilmore Girls. This is the complete series of the Gilmore Girls, which I've never seen. And that sold for $49.95 plus shipping. And the next hat is pretty cool, too. And it sold for $17.46 plus shipping. And it is a vintage Alabama hat. I bought it in a lot over on, was it on Commons? I don't know. I did a lot of sourcing this winter because I couldn't source. And so I was buying some stuff here and there that I knew I could make money on. $17.46 plus shipping. And I sold something that probably now I would sell on Polish and Brush, but I did pretty good on eBay, and it didn't take forever to sell all this stuff. These are the Stragglers Maybelline Express Brown, I guess. Little mascara thing. I don't know. $10 plus shipping. That one sold after I started filming today, and everything after this sold as well after I started filming. And I usually remember everything, but I can't quite remember this story. I remember I was down in Florida, and we were at a sale, and I had bought some stuff, and either Rod Picking and Punching made me buy this, or he bought it and then made me buy it off of him. I can't remember, but I know it was super cheap, like $5. I'm like, man, that thing's, he's like, it might go for 100. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do it because I don't want to ship it, but TV box might work for this. It's flat enough that you just slide it in the TV box, cut the TV box in half long ways, push it together. It might not be too bad. It's very sturdy. It's not like it's going to break. And it sold for $60 plus shipping. So I'm not loving that as much as I love the VCR in the box, but they'll be, I don't know, $40 or more in that thing right there. So I'll take it. And I love this sale. I picked up 2 pairs of sandals. They were identical, that had no comps whatsoever. They were $1 a piece at a sale, also in Florida. I think there they are right there. And I sold them both for $30 a piece. So $2 into $60 plus shipping with no comps whatsoever. But they just reminded me of those shoes I used to see when I was a kid, and I'm like, somebody is going to want those. And sure enough, they did. So I'll take it. $1 into $29.95 plus shipping. All right, y'all. I just thought I'd show you this. I've been buying so much, and you saw that shed in there was cleaned out. These bins right here, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are full of nothing but die cast, brand new, all kinds, especially NASCAR, and video games and video game consoles. I gotta turn a light on in here, but I want you to see just how much I've been buying lately. It's just insane. This stuff's got pictures ready to roll, just gotta list them. Been buying absolutely like crazy lately. These aren't back full yet, but they're getting there. And we've got polish and brush live shows here. This is going to be eBay stuff. I think most of that is eBay stuff, but maybe not all of it. But check this out. If you remember, we cleaned this whole thing out. We did all our clothes. Look at how many clothes we've got again that quick. It's just crazy. So having listed these, somebody said they might buy them all from me. That would be nice. But we are just slam packed. Each one of our Dibdit marketplaces has a little bin here as well. And so we're trying to create different things for different marketplaces to sell live. That's video games too. I bought that 2 weeks ago and haven't even touched it. So we've got just so much that needs to be done. So about half of this is eBay inventory, and then half of it, look at that. Check that out. We have a new marketplace, y'all. Can't wait. Millefiori right there to get some of this stuff over there. Tiquity. If you're a Trash to Cash fan, you'll think that's funny. And we've got, look at this, just so much. I've got to do a Dibdit sports show. I've stopped pretty much listing golf clubs on eBay. I'm just trying to keep the eBay stuff to a controlled, manageable amount in that shed and ramping everything else up. So we are doing as good or better than ever on eBay and trying to bring more and more good merchandise to these live selling platforms. We're selling on Shop Commons wholesale every Tuesday. We're selling multiple Dibdit shows a week. I'm probably not going to do threads for a little while because we hit that hard. I sold a ton of media as well. I got to start selling on DibditSports.com. I'm going to start selling on DavesKitchenMarket.com. I'm going to start selling some home goods and antique kind of stuff and MCM, all that over on Tiquity Home, and that's going to be fun. So anyway, come and join us if you haven't, just to hang out. No pressure to buy anything, do anything. It's a great community, and I've got to know so many people. Everybody gets to watch my face all the time, but I don't get to see yours. And unless you go on there and sell live, and sometimes people bring on co-streamers. Oh, check this out. I just saw this. This thing right here, I mean, we got more video games in here. These are good ones too, if I remember. Mortal Kombat and Mario Kart, Zelda. Anyway, this is full of micro machines. And this is, I don't know why I'm showing you this. I'm going to ruin a Commonwealth picker video that's coming up. Look at this bag. I absolutely love this bag. I'm going to probably put it on eBay just because I want it to hang around for a while. DuckTales little duffel. Got so much stuff. These are consoles, VCRs. I'm so excited to bring some of this stuff to y'all. We've been buying so much more than I ever have, and I got a trailer full back there. So we're ramping it up everywhere, making a little less on the live selling. The margin isn't quite as good as eBay, but we're able to buy so much more because of it, and just pushing it through smaller margins, making that money quicker. Plus we can employ Jess a little bit, and the kids get to work, and Turner's gonna do a video game show with his buddy, and they enjoy it, and then we're ramping up eBay as well. And my buddy Rod, Picking and Punching, has a show, I think on the 27th. I'm interested to see how it goes, because really the best stuff that sells on Dibdit and goes for good money is the higher dollar stuff. We got a picky audience over there, and they really like that stuff. And so Rod's like, forget it, man. I do better on these shows. I can buy more inventory. He's going to do what he calls a $5,000 show. So 100 items, average price, eBay sales price of $50. Some more, some a little bit less. So it's a good chance to source. All right, Turner's going to help me with a couple of thank yous. First of all, well, can you remember the name here? Look at this. This is Chernok's mom that made this. She's got an Instagram, y'all. Does your mom crochet?
No.
What do you think she's doing all the time with that thing? What do you, this is?
Oh yeah.
This is crocheting.
I know. Okay.
This is crocheting right here. But Chernok's mom made that. Do you remember her name on Instagram?
Carolyn's Crochet Creations.
You got it. That's very good. And this is an Inaman, a real normal sized Inaman, as opposed to that. That is so awesome. Thank you so much to Chernok's mom. We appreciate it. Y'all go follow her on Instagram. She does amazing stuff. And she'll be selling, hopefully, on her new marketplace. You got to go check that out, too. All right. That went to Biggs Collectibles. He bought that on dibdit.com. We're auctioning off those over there now. All right, no joke today, but tomorrow you can come back and tell some jokes. Thanks, bud.
Bye.
You know, we run a pretty tight ship around here. We get everything pretty much straight, and we got a lot going on. But somehow I have missed this, and I don't think I've thanked anybody for this. One of our problems is that I buy so much on Dibdit to resell and all that stuff that when people send us gifts and stuff, sometimes the girls open it and then put it in the right places, and then I end up with something like this that's been sitting here for days, and I don't even know who sent it to me. I got lucky on Dibdit.com. So if you sent this to me, tell me who the heck you are so I can give you a proper thank you. I cannot wait. I'm going to wear it on a Trash Cash episode or something. Thanks. All right, I do have two more things I could do today, but I'm not going to do them today. They just sold a little while ago. We're going to wait just a little bit and do them tomorrow probably. So thank y'all for joining us. Listen, let me know what you think I should do. I already kind of know what I think most resellers would do about the thing we discussed at the beginning of the video, where the person sent me essentially a return request after the time has passed in a screenshot of the fact that it didn't show up, but I cannot find that listing in my orders. It makes no sense. So let me know what you think of that below. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything y'all do. If you would come and join us over there on Dibdit, if it's Wednesday evening, we're going to be doing a massive video game and console show. Should be fun. Come and join us. If you never have, just come become a member and hang out in the chat, if nothing else. Appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you next time.